Hey everyone, this is Manny Wan. I've got my cardboard dagger and my fancy dress on because it's time for The Winter's Crime! The Winter's Crime by Marie Rutkoski is the sequel to The Winter's Curse, which I loved. So of course I was excited to read this one, and I actually just finished it today. I mean, you guys, look at me. Okay, obviously I love these books. Plus this outfit was easier put together than a bomb and a crow. What do a 15-year-old refugee, a schizophrenic bomber, a failed Arctic expedition from the late 19th century, and a depressed bionic reincarnated crow have in common? I have no idea, but I'm gonna find out in The Alex Crow by Andrew Smith. If it sounds like it's a little weird, it's probably because it will be. I don't really know much about this book other than that, and I am promised at least one poop joke, so I am set.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Too Many Books, Too Little Time. I'm your host, Mandy C. So, March is yet another month filled with books. Hashtag book blogger problems. And I'm here to share 3 of my top picks with you today. My first pick to share with you today is the second book in the Internment Chronicles. It's called Burning Kingdoms. It's by Lauren DeStefano. To avoid being too spoiler for the series, basically the main character of these books lives in a floating city in the sky, above Earth, one would assume, and she can see the ground but has never visited, and so she's very curious about what kind of people and what kind of land is below her. The second book I'm sharing with you today is called The Story Spinner by Becky Wallace. Let me read you from the back. All Joanna von Arlo wants to do is become a story spinner. But her options are so limited, she is forced to work for the aggravating and handsome Lord Raphael de Silva. While in his employ, Joanna is exposed to a dangerous Game of Thrones, a game where she will discover that the magically inclined keepers from her stories might be real after all. Definitely sounds interesting and right up my alley. I also enjoy the cover, very Katnissy, with a little bit of Renaissance fair flair. The third book I want to share with you guys today is called Breaking Sky by CORI McCarthy. It is a book in which America is locked in a Cold War, and our best and brightest hope for winning the war is a group of teenage hotshot fighter pilots who are involved in an experimental program with a new type of jet. But of course, there are military secrets revealed, which lead the main character, Chase, to discover that not everything is what it seems like.
Hey guys, Sarah here. Happy March! March is maybe my favorite month because of South by Southwest, because the weather gets better, and most importantly because it's my birthday month. And David Levithan has given me the best birthday gift a girl could ask for. That's right, I'm talking about Hold Me Closer, the Tiny Cooper story. You guys, I have been waiting for this since the moment I finished Will Grayson, because Tiny Cooper was obviously the best part of that book, and now we get an entire book devoted to his life in musical form. Hold me closer, Tiny Cooper. Try getting that song out of your head. You know this book is going to be larger than life, just like Tiny himself. How many of you guys are really hoping that this actually becomes a real Broadway show? I am. Next up is The Start of Me and You by Emery Lord. So I finally read Emery's first book, Open Road Summer, about 2 months ago, and I just got a huge kick out of it. It was really fun, super romantic, lots of tingles, lots of swoon. So if you're looking for your Sarah Dessen fix, keep in mind Sarah Dessen's new book doesn't come out until May. I encourage you to give Emery Lord a try. It's about a girl, Paige, whose boyfriend has died. And basically, after a year of mourning, she's ready to try to get back into normal life, kind of re-engage with high school. And I was immediately interested in this book when I read the phrase Quiz Bowl team. Yeah, there's a Quiz Bowl team involved, so you can sign me up. I think it's going to be really fun, romantic, cute, and I think there's a boy in it who sounds pretty adorkable. And the last book on my pile is We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. This is basically the YA version of Deep Impact or Armageddon. And I don't want to miss a thing. There is an asteroid that's hurtling towards the Earth, and people think that it may or may not completely destroy the planet. And so the book follows 4 different teenagers as they try to figure out how to spend their last, or what could be their last few weeks on Earth. I'm like really digging this cover. It's pretty great. So hopefully the contents are just as good. How much do you want to bet that someone in this book is going to lose their virginity because, you know, it's your last night on Earth?
Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and here are a few of my March books for you. So you might have noticed that cults are a really popular topic in 2015 YA, and I have a cult book for you. This is Seed by Lisa Heathfield. It takes place in England, and it's a nature-based cult, where the very creepy leader, Papa S, has lots of companions, aka wives, because he can, apparently, and our protagonist, Pearl, is a teenage girl who's about to become one of his companions. Yippee! That is until there's an outsider boy, of course, and his mother show up to be part of the cult. He starts giving her reason to question everything she's known, and how is it going to turn out? I will let you find out. Second, I love this book. I love this book, and I want you to love this book. This is Under a Painted Sky by Stacey Lee, and it is so, so, so good. Two girls are on the Oregon Trail, and they're pretending to be boys. One girl is Chinese, one girl is black, and they are running from the law, and they have a damn good reason to do so. Now, along the way, because they're scared as hell, they meet up with this group of cowboys who sort of protects them, helps them along the way. And of course the cowboys are swoon-worthy, and of course there's some attraction there, but how is that going to work out when you're in the 1800s and you're pretending to be boys? Worked in Shakespeare, but is it going to go so well here? You must find out. You must love it as much as I do. And finally, I have Black Dove, White Raven by Elizabeth Wein. So all I have to tell you is that it's Elizabeth Wein, and you know that you're going to cry all the tears. Well, I haven't read it yet, but I do know that it takes place in 1930s Ethiopia. There is sort of a duo, a black brother and a white sister, whose mothers were stunt pilots and killed in a fiery crash, which is really cheerful. Thank you, Elizabeth Wein. They are being raised in Ethiopia because it's one of the few places that the mothers apparently knew that nobody would raise an eyebrow at a black brother and a white sister being raised together. And then in the background, there's war with Italy brewing. So, you know, it's got all of the hallmarks of an Elizabeth Wein novel. Flying, history, and certain heartbreak. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to tell you all about it. And I hope that you are staying warm and that March brings all of you East Coast people a lot warmer temperatures.